The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour with me, your humble, lovable, and squeezably soft host. Once more into the breach we go, dear friends. And of course, we tried to rally in the morning and sold off on incredibly light volume. We've bounced once again. So we've retested yesterday's low. And it just looks like people kind of playing around. Might be a little bit of the holiday today for some of the market participants in New York City. But I had to go along the indexes today. I can't see ETFs testing lows with 50%, 25% of the volume, and figure that there isn't some kind of major issue or major thing going on out here. Now, maybe that all changes when everybody comes back from vacation tomorrow, but I don't think so. They had every opportunity to whack this market as hard as they wanted, and I've been playing individual stocks. I actually went ahead and started an index position today, down around 1935, but I think there's a lot going on out here, and a lot of things didn't make sense to me. In fact, I was in a sector that I liked and had one stock up 5% and another one down 5%. I couldn't figure out what in the world was going on in this sector, and someone explained it to me, but I couldn't find it anywhere. In fact, after they explained it to me, I went and looked, and it's still not anywhere. But apparently, quietly, one company was trying to buy out another company. Probably a simple answer I probably should have figured out. So 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. I sold both of them. I think from yesterday, I think I was like up 1% better than the movement. But a lot of strange things going on in these markets, and you just have to roll with the punches. But it's very strange stuff going on. But what is not strange is this incredibly light volume. 1.9 billion shares as we start the show today. And even in the morning, before they started to push it down, we got into, I generally look at the volume at about 3 times during the day. And then, of course, at the close. So about 4 times. But normally the first 30 minutes of the day, because that is almost always what they call the rubes on the street. That is people that are retail traders. Then the next 15 minutes, you normally start seeing the big market participants start to wade in. They don't jump in headlong. And, of course, they rallied the markets for a little bit. Then, of course, we saw a lot of bears get on this market. And this is when the volume literally came to a crawl. It's been a long time, maybe Christmas, Thanksgiving last year, that I've seen the volume, especially around noon, just evaporated. And it's very strange. Like I said, maybe it has to do with vacation. But there's some other things going on in the market. We'll talk about them today. But we've got yet another second test of those lows back in there in the low 1930s on the S&P cash. And we're probably going to be, last time we were in there, we were short 1.5 billion shares. Today, I suspect we're going to be short 2 billion shares by the end of the day. So we'll see how the volume comes in during my show. But my guess is we're going to continue to see a very light volume day out here, and volume come back into the market tomorrow. And I've seen a lot of games played. Like I said, I've got an individual stock that went up on 1 million shares. It's down 2% today on 120,000 shares. So 10% of the volume that it came up and broke out on. I can't sell those stocks. I don't care how bearish I want to feel. or how close to the end of the world that I think it is.
It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it.
It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. Yes, I do. I feel fine, and of course, we need to get this party started, don't we? Just got to have some fun on a day like this. So let's get it started.
That it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
Today, Wall Street top investment banks, encouraged by the Federal Reserve, complete marathon negotiations and a $3.65 billion bailout. Sounds like a drop in the bucket today. This is in 1998. I had just started trading full time about 30 days before, and of course, I knew next to nothing. In fact, I was worse than knowing next to nothing. If I would have known that I knew nothing, then things probably would have been better. Anyway, everybody started off, I think, that way. They knew nothing, then they thought they knew something, and then they figured that the market was going to humble them time and time again. It's almost like golf, isn't it? One of those games that you just, what else would you do for aggravation? Anyway, they nearly lost $2 billion in a single month when the mathematical models designed by two Nobel laureates failed tremendously. And this goes into another news article we have out here today. But I highly recommend, there's 3 or 4 books called, one's called Paving Wall Street, another one's called Inventing Money. I think any trader probably ought to know the history and the hubris that went into long-term capital management. And it is a lesson that is probably as good as any as Aesop's Fables, as I read as a kid. And of course, I guess you could cut it down to Tony Montana saying, don't get high on your own supply, or don't read your own press, or several things like that. You can give me a call, 877-927-6648, 877-927-6648. Email me at path@tfnn.com and post messages in the den. We got a lot of charts to look at today, and we'll get into that in a minute. The Big Short is a movie coming out this December, and I saw a big hunk of it this morning, and it looks very good. It's got everybody in it from Hollywood. This is going to be a big one out early in December 11th. And I don't know by then if the market's going to turn down. I suspect we'll talk about that a little bit on my long-range forecast for the markets. But it is from the book of the same name, The Big Short. And you can find trailers for it online and on YouTube already today. I just had this one little clip, though. I thought I wanted to play this one here. Was that it? Where's it at? Burning Man, 6 degrees, breaking the law, deep insights. It's not my fault. What did I do with it? Did I forget to bring it? Burning Man, it's not my fault. Must have forgotten it here. Classic movies. The Big Short, right?
The whole housing market is propped up on these bad loans. They will fail.
The housing market is rock solid.
It's a time bomb.
So Mike Burry, who gets his hair cut at Supercuts and doesn't wear shoes, knows more than Alan Greenspan.
Dr. Mike Burry, yes, he does.
And it brings out a lot of those folks. Also in the book is a lot of stuff like a gentleman that had the worst trade ever. So if you ever feel bad, like today when I felt just confused, I really didn't lose a bunch of money. I had one stock going up and one going down. But Howie Hubler, I guess. I've never heard about this guy, his actual name. I've heard about the trade, though. But he infamously was known as the person who lost $9 billion. $9 billion in one trade, the longest single loss in history. And, of course, AIG, which lost over $99 billion in losses. But it pretty much illustrates the hubris of the banks. And If you think that they were and had been taking a beating, I've seen some parts of this where they highlight how many houses that they were putting strippers in, literally strippers with 4 and 5 houses, and them renting them out because, of course, housing only went higher. And anyway, it's going to be an interesting movie coming out in December, but I don't think it's going to make any of these books or these banks look any better come out in December. As a warning and a cloud over the markets, especially the bond markets, we are now seeing data come out that is very interesting. Of course, we've had high-frequency traders in equity markets since really 2007. But what we now know is all these high-frequency traders have now started to move into the bond market. Last couple of months, the biggest folks in the bond market are now these high-frequency traders. Fresh data on the involvement of high-frequency trading in the Treasury market follows an official report on the October 15th, 2014 flash crash in the Treasury market, and shows that exactly the same thing happened as the, 2010 flash crash? Was it 2011? I think it was 2010, wasn't it? Yeah, read the book. Very good also. But if you are a bond trader, and I am not, I think you really have to start looking at and seeing what's happening and wondering how much, as an equity trader, I think you have to worry, or at least think, how much these high-frequency traders in the bond markets can push the equity markets around. I think especially at the cusp of Fed tightening, we could see a lot of shenanigans. We don't use that word enough at TFNN. I'm going to try to use it several times more today. Shenanigans and poppycock. Don't use poppycock much anymore. Anyway, watch out for it. I'm going to delve into these reports tonight. I basically just went and read the cover sheets on these things. But apparently, I'm trying to remember if I remember the number right, $4.7 trillion in one high-frequency trader in a month. Or maybe it was 2 of them. It was some astronomical amount of cash that these high-frequency traders were pushing back and forth in the bond market. I'll try to find out more about it and report on it. I'm not a real big bond guy. I like James Bond, but bonds, a little different story. Of course, we've got the Pope in here, and I just thought I would tell this one small story. In 1986, I was in California when the Pope visited. And you see this most amazing stuff. I guess I'm not around it, so I won't. But this will always live in my mind forever. And that was, they were selling these lawn sprinklers that had the Pope with his hand up, and they span around with the water coming out of the fingers. And of course, it was called lettuce spray. Pope lawn sprinklers. I'll always remember that from 1986. We'll be back in a minute. We're going to get into a ton of charts today.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pezzo, Pesavento, Thinkorswim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And we open the second segment with less than 2 billion shares on the New York Consolidated Tape and off 1.5 points on the S&P Cash. And maybe they're just out here playing today. But I tell you what, they pushed a lot of stocks down only to see them do nothing in volume today. So you've got to figure you've got a little bit of bounce. I think we're probably going to have a bounce at least in the NASDAQ over the next few days. Apple, of course, rolling out their new phones. And I figure we've got about $3 just on the basis of them with their new smartphones and the PR machine. We're at 114.43 right now. As we talked about, there are a ton of stocks out here that are testing volumes on light volumes compared to these August 24th lows. We're going to go through as many as we can. I don't know if there's enough time. You can also give me a call at 877-927-6648. I suspect after today, I'm probably going to see another couple of hundred like I saw this morning that we're out here on light volume, just on the ridiculously light volume we have now. I suspect we probably close up about 1950 on the S&P Cash today, maybe a little higher than that. A lot of people were throwing everything at this market today and could not break that lower low. Of course, one other thing that may be helping this market a little bit also is the dollar index. It looked like it was going to try to break out today. It did not. It has pulled back into the trading range. It's 96.10 on the continuous contract. That 96.30 level has been the high mark on it, and the 93.30 level has been the low mark on it. But doesn't look, I thought maybe it would break out here. And looks like it went up and didn't do much. So maybe the dollar index is ready to quiet down. In the meantime, we'll get started on charts early today. Atlas Worldwide AAW. This is a lessee, a lessor of airlines, parts, equipment, and actual planes itself. The August 24th low on this was $37.03, 600,000 shares, and we've got a massive amount of volume today at 170,000 shares. Even yesterday, we didn't get but 418,000 shares as we got back into there. Now, as it closed back in, and not quite, but my God, volume is like this. Like I said, I could probably done 200 of these in the newsletter this morning. I suspect we get another 200 today after the action. Other ones out here. Abbott Laboratories saw a lot of these stocks in the pharma/biotech field that looked very interesting. August 26th low, $42.30. 12 million shares. Yesterday, 7.2 million shares. So if you believe in price and volume, man, it would be hard for me to be short this one. Alexa Pharmaceuticals. Another one out here testing on light volume. Did it yesterday. If we go back to the August 24th low, 156.71, 3.5 million shares, right? Yesterday we had 2.2 million shares. Today spiked through it again, just less than 1 million shares. And it's back up into the trading range. Pretty good signals out here. Your risk reward is not going to get much better than it has gotten right now. Arena Pharmaceuticals, some of these tiny ones, same thing. September 1st low, 254, 4.2 million shares was the heaviest volume. You had 2.7 million shares yesterday, 2.3 actually. And, pretty light volume out here today, 685,000. Array Pharmaceuticals, Array Biopharma, thank you. ARRY, pretty wicked volume out here. 3.1 million shares back on the 24th at $5.13. Yesterday, 1.87 million shares. Today, 575,000. Well, certainly not building up lots of power to blow through there. Just the opposite, super light volume. BBT, the banking company, this thing's bouncing around the lows. Again, 10 million shares back on August 24th at 34.76. We got into that yesterday with 3.6 million shares. Today with 2 million. We're down with 20% volume of that August 24th low. Like I said, it's hard to believe that we're getting such a gift, at least the way I'm looking at it out here. Some of these stocks have gone lower. I don't know why that one's in there. Didn't get all of them in there. Maybe I forgot to delete it. Coca-Cola. Got to have a drink. I'm having iced tea today. But I tell you what, I think you'd have to have a Coke and a smile when we look at the volume. This thing gapped up on the 31st of June. Was it? Yeah. 13 million shares. We're into it with 1.4 million shares yesterday. We'll talk more about this when we come back.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you like it does me, visit everbank.com/TFNN to find out what they can do for you. Again, that's everbank.com/TFNN. Visit them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
We were talking about Coca-Cola Enterprises, and of course, you can give me a call at 877-927-6648. You can email me at path@tfnn.com or post a message in the den. Anyway, Coca-Cola, very interesting out here. Nice gap up on 731, did so on 13.3 million shares, came back into it with half the volume again, and that was on, August 24th. And of course, yesterday, 1.4 million shares today. Basically that, but it's popping back up. So some of these stocks not looking so bad out here, at least at the lows. Carlyle Group, kind of interesting. I've kind of thought about putting my toe into this arena of natural gas. Anyway, August 24th low comes in at $19.71, 1.4 million shares. And of course, what did we have yesterday? 790,000 shares. Today, we're down on 400,000 shares. Now, I hadn't popped back into the trading range, but probably ought to stop looking at that. Like I said, I think I had 40 or more charts, maybe 50 or more charts this morning in the newsletter. Some days I just feel like I'm giving gold bricks out to my subscribers, because every one of these was a signal that I would have paid dearly for at any time in my early career. You can always check out my newsletter for 30 days for free at TFNN.com. Maybe use some of those Tiger dollars on it. But on days like today, I think I am doing doing the Lord's work. Anyway, Consol Energy, CNX, August 24th. $11.46. 7.7 million shares. What do we got today? 4.4 million shares. So probably wouldn't be buying this, but certainly we are not breaking lows in that one with a volume so far today. We are going a little bit lower on these, but my guess is these things all look like they're ready to pop back into a trading range. August 24th on Crane Company. $48.59, 660,000 shares. Yesterday, 180,000 shares. Today, a measly 70,000 shares. This is what I'm talking about. I've got shares or stocks that are pulling back with a ridiculously light volume. I can't sell them when they pull back like that. I can't do it. Wouldn't be prudent. Got to get that clip, I guess. August 24th, Deckers Corp. And I was talking to a trader this morning. I said, if I could consolidate one kind of pattern out here that I think that the market is kind of doing, at least in equities, not so much the indexes, but in equities, it certainly is Deckers out here. And when we look at Deckers, I mean, talk about sweet setups. August 24th, $59.68, 960,000 shares. Yesterday, 550,000 shares. Today, 216,000 shares. They're stampeding to get out the doors in that one, aren't they? Anyway, what else do we have out here? DGAS up to resistance. Digital Globe. How about this little guy out here? Digital Globe. Just a monster July 31st slam down on 2.1 million shares to 21 bucks. We're piercing that today with a incredible 360,000 shares. And again, you probably want to wait for these things to pull back into the trading range. But I think that the indexes are going to tell us a little bit more. We're off 3 points on the S&P cash as we speak. Other stocks out here. Now, this one kind of caught my eye. It's an ETF, so maybe not as important as some of the other ones, but huge slam down, of course, on the 24th and 25th of August. 25th hit the low at $29.12 on 1.5 million shares. Today, 17,000 shares on the Sweden Index Fund, EWD. Pining for the fjords, are they? Fastenal Company, and I love this company as a canary in the coal mine. What did this thing do? August 24th, 6.2 million shares. We come over here, kind of broke down on it with 2 million shares on the 21st. Yesterday, we got 1.8 million shares, and today, 800,000 shares. Again, any of these, this thing only needs about 50 cents, right, to pop back into the trading range. That gives you a good indication of a lot of these stocks and how they're washing out. Felcor Lodging and Trust, another one out here, 1.8 million shares on August 25th. And it came back in it in the last 3 days, 1.18 billion shares, 855,000 shares yesterday, 400,000 shares so far today. Again, you get to see this thing close back above 767 to make sure it goes into the trading range. But not a lot of push out here. I hope I'm making my point. When does the high odds, what does that mean, high odds will rally? Okay. I mean, if you have volume and you can't get any lower, I don't know, what does the high odds, what does that mean, high odds will rally? That just means that your chances of having much higher prices are much more likely than lower prices. These things are probably going to pop back into the trading range and make a bottom. You know, if it was 10% lighter volume on some of these, they can go either way. 15%, 20%, you're starting to mean something. We're looking at a lot of these stocks or some of these stocks that have 10% of the volume of previous lows. I've yet, I'd say probably 90% of the time, the stocks have bounced my way when they've done that. Flowers Foods, was watching this one. Not a lot of stocks breaking out here lately, but this one is at least breaking through its highs. If you are looking for some shorts, Flowers Foods is breaking higher on, albeit much lighter volume. This one's out here with 1 million shares today, breaking the August 18th high. One that's kind of going the opposite way. I think I had two of them actually that I had in the newsletter, but not many. Gulfport Energy, even these horrible energy stocks having a tough time breaking the lows. 3.1 million shares on July 28th. August 24th, they said 3.1 million shares. Didn't break that low. Now, yesterday we had 2 million shares. Today, 667,000 shares. So we're going to see a lot of these stocks ready to go tomorrow when everybody is back. What else do we have? September 2nd, $61.62 in Hardware International, HTWR. This thing gapped down on massive volume, 4.3 million shares. Yesterday, we're getting back into that low and pierced it on 430,000 shares today, 218,000 shares so far. Don't know a lot about that particular stock. Again, you can give me a call at 877-927-6648. Here's another one out of Europe. This is the iShares Europe 350 Index Fund. 3.3 million shares on August 24th. $39.66, 3.3 million shares. And again, yesterday, 600,000 shares. Today, 708. So volume picked up ever slightly today, but still 1/3 of the volume of the August 24th lows. Going to have some tough time getting through those. Ladenburg, the Thalman Financial Services, LTS. This had a nice low at $2.22 August 24th. 800,000 shares yesterday, 170,000 shares today, 71,000 shares. Not a lot of volume out here in these stocks. McGraw-Hill, MHFI. Another one thumped down on the August 24th low at $90.50, 2.5 million shares. And this one actually looks pretty good. Yesterday, 1.4 million shares. Today, 550,000 shares. Certainly not attacking that previous low on any kind of volume. And like I said, I can do this all day, folks. Tip your waitresses. I'll be here all week. Okay, what else do we have out here? Mentor. Mentor is going against a low from back here on March 27th that had 1.7 million shares. We've broken through this, but volume certainly hadn't increased yesterday. 861,000 shares, down a little bit harder today, 700,000 shares. So maybe not one of the better ones out here, but fairly interesting. Watch for those to pop back into their trading ranges. New Skin. This is an interesting one. I like the pattern on this. It's much like some of the other ones out here. Took off with a sign of strength on the, August 7th. Popped up with almost 6.8 million shares. Came back into it for a few days around the 25th of August. Rallied a little bit more. But now we're coming down, yesterday, 576,000 shares. Today, 322,000 shares. And again, that is against a gap up of almost 8 million shares. We're going to go to Sean in San Francisco. I went to San Francisco. How are you doing, Pat? Pretty good. I went to San Francisco and I found a heart just laying there. Oh. People keep leaving their hearts in San Francisco. That seems like all I do is trip over them there. Anyway, Sean, what do you want to look at today?
MOS.
And what are you thinking on this?
Well, I see, it's there in the downtrend, but I feel that, should I buy it maybe around the 30 level?
Yeah, the problem is that a lot of these are coming from countries that have some big troubles, and you never know where the bottom's going to be on these. The problem is that, of course, these companies, especially these countries, are having their currencies collapse, like Brazil, some of these other ones. And that is the issue right there. What price is that commodity going to be at tomorrow for, in this case, fertilizer? Right?
Right.
And I don't know how to tell you where Brazil's or Russia's currencies is going to find a bottom. So I don't know how to trade this. You'd need at least some kind of low that gets retested. Maybe it's at $30, but I don't see, why there's some stocks I love and that are making lows. I don't see anything in this yet that says that you could come out and buy it.
Okay.
I mean, if this is the low day, right? You're going to bounce a few days. You're going to come back and you want to see probably like 1.5 million shares down here at 32.41. But even then, this thing was at $53 on January 25th.
Right.
You're probably going to talk about 3 to 4, maybe 8 weeks of consolidation, I suspect, before you find a low in this. It could V bottom, but my guess is that these countries and their currencies that are getting hammered, like Australia and Brazil and a lot of these other ones, they're not going to just turn around on a dime. I think the stocks that are probably going to run have a lot more to do with stocks that have heavy demand from U.S. and maybe even European clients. Okay?
But this is a U.S.-based company, so I was I know it's a commodity and,
Yeah, unfortunately, it's fairly cheap to put all this stuff in a giant barge and ship it here. U.S. or not. And that, there may be a premium, but it's whatever the shipping premium is. And we were talking about the dry shippers yesterday. Mm-hmm. There's nothing that suggests to me that it's grain and iron ore or phosphates that are being shipped in those giant things. It all looks to me like the ones that are causing the rates to go higher are all crude ships.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Thanks, Pat.
You bet. ZM out here. Yeah. Brazilian stuff. So any of these things, third worlds out here are pretty tough. What do we have out here? Seeing some of these OCZIF Capital Management Group, OZM. Its August 24th low was $9.21 with 960,000 shares yesterday, 224,000 shares today, 259,000 shares. Pretty good test out here for this one, OZM, PLM. And again, you could have had these charts at 9 a.m. this morning if you wanted to. I won't be able to get through all of them. Polycom, let's get another one here. That one isn't good. Here's another little one out here that's kind of interesting. This is a pharma company, I think, or biotech. August 24th, $170.68 in Perigo, PRGO. 2.3 million shares yesterday, 830,000 shares today, 347,000 shares so far. Certainly doesn't look to me like a stampede of any kind out here. Patterson, UTI Energy, P10. Like I said, some of these really horrible energy companies look like they're getting kind of close. This one has not tested the low, but it is getting close. August 26th, $12.98, 8.3 million shares, 4.7 million shares yesterday, 2.9 million shares today. Where's the volume? Where's the beef? I like those ladies. Where are the beef ladies? Where's the beef? I wonder if I have that. I'm going to go find it. Be back in a minute.
TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile-based scanner in the industry. Powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
We're down 5 points on vapor for volume, 2.2 billion shares. We probably should be, 3.5 billion shares to think about breaking the previous lows out here. Now, maybe the volume comes in tomorrow, but I tell you what, we can go through the rest of this day in looking at these charts with incredibly light volume for the last few days as they've gotten into their August 24th lows. And of course, you're going to need a lot of volume to break those lows. Got a question from Jamie in Green Bay, home of somebody that is 2-0. I don't know what that means. Probably some sports thing that I don't watch. Anyway, certainly General Dynamics. Question is what's going on in this one. It gapped up on April 29th with almost 3 million shares. Came back into it with 3 million shares on the 24th on that big gap down. And, of course, now it's back into that candle with 626,000. So I'd probably compare that to the gap up, the sign of strength on April 29th at the 2.9 million shares. Probably going to get back to 135, but I'm going to say you're probably going to see some pretty decent support out here. RD, WR, Radware. Now, this one gapped up on its sign of support, 1028. That's October 28th of 2014 with 1.1 million shares. Came back into it again on July 28th, spiked down with 2.8 million shares. Now, if we get a little closer to this, what do we have? 2.8 million shares. Yesterday, 280,000 shares. 10% of the volume of that day. Today, what do we have? 52,000. 52. I feel like I need to do that ad from Pace Barbecue. New York City. There is no barbecue sauce in New York City. I think it's picante sauce or something, isn't it? Anyway, what else can you say? 2.8 million shares, 280,000 shares yesterday, 52,000 shares today. So, like I said, the risk reward probably doesn't get any better than it does right now. You also have Apple, which is probably going to pop a few bucks probably over the next couple of days as they ship these new phones. And that's what I'm looking forward to. Raymond James Financials, RJF, August 24th, 2.8 million shares, $49.61. Pierced it yesterday on 1.3 million shares, so half the volume, less than half volume. Today, 254,000 shares. Got a couple of dojis out there, so probably a good sign of either the halfway market down and or a bottom out here. Don't know what this stock is. Have to check it out real quick. Repliza. What is this thing? Haven't had a chance. Biopharma, focusing on the development and commercialization of non-absorbed polymeric drugs to treat disorders in the area of renal, cardiovascular, and metabolic diseases. So what did we see on this? Okay. Got into this one on August 24th with 840,000 shares, $21.39. We've gone below that. We closed back above it yesterday with 570,000 shares. Today, 286,000 shares. So attacking those lower lows with lighter volume. SAP, what's this guy doing out here? Of course, this is a ATR, so it is trading in Germany. But the 24th low at $63.06, 2.7 million shares. Get into it with 1.4 million shares yesterday, 1.2 million shares today. So we're probably in that same line. Like I said, probably going to see probably a couple hundred more of these tomorrow, I would imagine, with the light volume we have out here today. 1938 on the S&P cash as we leave the show. 2.2 billion shares. Wimpy, wimpy, wimpy. See you tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
You're watching Tiger TV.